What up? What is up? What is up, YouTube? How are you guys doing today? It is an amazing Sunday, and we are here for another One Piece character review. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. I do want to say sorry I haven't posted in a while. It's finals week, things have been hectic, and I've just been grinding and studying and stuff like that. I was gonna post yesterday, but I was at my friend's graduation. So I was unable to. I got back at like 7 o'clock from that, and I was like, I can't do a YouTube video, which is gonna take me like 3-4 hours to make and then stream and yeah. But anyways, we've been doing pretty good these past couple of days. We got some new subs, some new friends, some new views, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much for that. It means the world to me that you guys go out of your way to support me. It really does. But anyways, let's get back into the topic of today's video. Today for One Piece character review, we are going to be talking about Charlotte Flampe. Alright, so Charlotte Flampe is the 36th daughter and 77th child of the Charlotte family, and is an officer of the Big Mom Pirates, serving as the captain of the Special Attack Unit. And she is also the Todo Land's Minister of Honey, governing over Rokumitsu Island, and the president of the Katakuri Fan Club. Alright, so now we will move on into her appearance and personality. So, Charlotte Flampe appears to be a lanky young girl with dark hair and a very long ponytail that curls up at the end. Her ponytail is held up with a flower-shaped hair tie. She wears a dark red shirt with a frilly high collar and frilly long sleeves. She also wears dark red tights and light colored loafers. Over her clothes, she wears a polka dotted outfit which balloons out like a jelly bean and allows her to float and bounce around. Now, her personality. She is a very obsessive girl who looks up to her older brother Katakuri because of his apparent perfection, to the point that she would interrupt the battle between him and Luffy in order to preserve that status. It was kind of a dick move. Very... Right, so Katakuri is probably one of my favorite characters. I don't consider him to be... So he is an antagonist, but I don't consider him to be a villain, right? But Katakuri, when we eventually will get to him, he has never lost a fight. He's never laid down on his back, and he's also never showed his mouth. I covered him on my TikTok character overview series, and if you guys want to go check that out. Anyways, yeah, she intervenes in the fight and shoots Luffy with the blowgun that we can see right here. It's a completely silent blowgun, so Luffy couldn't see it. He couldn't dodge it in time either, even though he could see it with his observation haki. But yeah, she intervenes in the fight, injures Luffy, and Katakuri gets mad pissed. Anyways, back to her personality. She also loves Katakuri to the point that she would compete with her siblings to get her brother's favoritism. She considers herself to be his favorite sibling. However, this obsession is entirely superficial, since Flampe displayed immense shock when Katakuri injured himself and repeatedly mocked the appearance of her brother's hidden mouth. Flampe, thus, is a very petty and immature woman, even threatening to gossip about Katakuri's display of weakness to everybody, all while disowning him as a relative of hers. Flampe is sadistic and tends to laugh at the misfortune of her enemies. This also includes her subordinates, as she will immediately demean any and even attack them if they do something that fails to meet her standards. She also takes enjoyment in toying and torturing her opponents along with her subordinates. This extends to anyone she dislikes, as she attempted to torment Katakuri with the prospect of humiliating him and his mouth to the public. Flampe is shown to be rather vain, taking pleasure in her status as the cutest sister, despite said status being mostly self-manufactured. However, she is loyal to her mother and her family, incredibly so, as she accompanied Big Mom and her siblings to infiltrate Wano and retrieve Zeus and get her revenge on Luffy. She appears to be confident in her sharpshooting abilities and regards to being stealthy. Despite her sadism, Flampe is disgusted by blood, as she repeatedly derided Luffy for being bloodied during their fight with Katakuri, and likewise became extremely angry and disgusted with Katakuri himself when some of his blood splashed on her face. Alrighty, okie dokie. We now move on into her relationships, starting with her family and her mom, Charlotte Linlin. She is extremely loyal to her mother, so much so to the point that she accompanied her to Wano for revenge against the Straw Hats. Now, Katakuri. She originally admired her brother Katakuri immensely so, and even became the president of a fan club dedicated to him. While watching her brothers fight against Luffy, she interrupted the battle because she wanted to preserve her brother's perfect status and become Katakuri's favorite sister. This plan, however, extremely backfired and made Katakuri, I wouldn't say hate, despise, those are very strong words, but he was absolutely furious that she would intervene in the fight, stating, "I do not want to win this way." Now, when Katakuri caught wind of her and Charlotte Flampe expected praise from him while approaching her, instead he stabbed himself with his trident and angrily berated her for her interference while telling her to never interrupt his duel with Luffy. Like I said, he was incredibly furious over it. Anyway, when she looked at Katakuri's teeth, she rolled away from him in terror and called him a monster. Distraught at the appearance of Katakuri's mouth, Flampe began to detest and ridicule him. She even had her subordinates photograph him in an attempt to expose his eel-like teeth throughout the entire Totoland. Not wanting to meddle in his fight and being annoyed with her rants, Katakuri willingly knocked her and her subordinates out with the blast of his Conqueror's Haki as punishment. Him and Luffy, after he injured himself, Luffy was like, "God damn, alright, I don't know if Luffy was like, I respect that," but I was like, I respect that. They look at each other and, I can't remember if I think it was Katakuri who goes, the audience is a little loud, or like the peanut gallery or something along those lines, and Luffy goes, "It's not like they'll be able to remain on their feet," and then they both blast Conqueror's Haki, like, out, like, as hard as they can and knock everybody the fuck out, so, which is saying something, seeing as how Flampe, I'm pretty sure, was able to withstand a blast of her mom's Conqueror's Haki. So, yes, anyways. Before completely passing out, like I said, Flampe was shocked to learn that Luffy also possesses Conqueror's Haki. Alright, so now we're gonna head on over and talk about her abilities and powers. Now, as the Minister of Honey, Flampe has authority over Rokumitsu Island. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Anyways, and the Special Attack Unit Captain. Flampe has direct control over an entire squad that specializes in special attacks. Furthermore, as an officer of the Big Mom Pirates, she is able to give orders to lower-ranked members of the crew despite her young age. She does not possess a particularly strong will, as she was knocked out by Luffy and Katakuri's Conqueror's Haki. Okay, so I was wrong. She wasn't present for Big Mom's Conqueror's Haki blast then, as she was knocked out by Luffy and Katakuri, who I believe at the time whose Conqueror's Haki do not come to the level of Big Mom's. Now, her Fluffy Balloon System. The Fluffy Balloon System is a device contained in Flampe's outfit, in the poofy part that makes her look like a jelly bean. I always thought she was just fat and weirdly shaped, but I guess not. I guess it's a device. Excuse me. It's a device contained in Flampe's outfit which allows her to float in the air like an actual balloon. This device was obtained when Big Mom was destroying other countries, as she does. Now, her weapons. Her main weapon is a blowgun, which she uses to shoot numbing needles. Flampe is a skilled marksman, and her dress briefly deflates when she shoots, indicating that the air in it is used to shoot the blowgun and gives it greater range. The needle shots are silent, allowing Flampe to take out enemies by surprise. Although they do not seem to be exceptionally powerful, the needles are so silent that neither Luffy nor Katakuri, two fighters with pretty good, well, Luffy has decent, at this point, observation Haki. Katakuri's observation Haki is absolutely insane. I think he can see something like 2 minutes into the future at any given time when he wants to. So the fact that neither Luffy nor Katakuri could notice the needle means that her needle is very, very silent and very deadly, because neither one of them could notice. She also uses a fork to punish the sniper who failed to hit Luffy, so that's where her sadism kind of comes into play a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to talk about her history a little bit before we move on into the trivia. Now, the Whole Cake Island arc. During the second battle between Katakuri and Monkey D. Luffy in the Mirror World, Flampe went in with some subordinates and had them try to shoot Luffy so she could become Katakuri's favorite sister. She stabbed one of them with the fork to punish him for his failure when Luffy kept dodging his shots and remarked on Luffy's tenacity as he refused to quit. Flampe managed to shoot Luffy in the leg, I believe it was the knee specifically, with her silent blowgun as she laughed as Katakuri managed to deal a critical blow to him as a result of her interference. Flampe was ecstatic as Katakuri pummeled Luffy, but when Luffy continued getting up, she tried shooting at him again. Luffy dodged the shot but fell down in the process, causing Flampe and her subordinates to laugh at him and attract Katakuri's attention. Thinking Katakuri was coming to praise her, Flampe received a rude awakening as Katakuri stabbed himself and revealed his mouth as he shouted at her for interfering in his battle. Flampe instantly became disillusioned with her brother after this display of weakness and mocked his mouth, having her subordinates take pictures of it and stating that she would show them to everyone else. However, she and her subordinates were quickly knocked out by a blast of Luffy and Katakuri's Conqueror's Haki. Now, kind of talking back, looking like back at that last little bit there, she became disillusioned with his weakness. I truly don't believe that that's a sign of weakness. That is ultimate strength, in my opinion. Refusing to win a fight by anything less than your own strength and abilities takes strength, right? Katakuri could have seen that opportunity and just murked Luffy, just like that. Killed him incredibly easy. However, it takes true strength, in my opinion, to look at that situation, wound yourself, and say, now it's an even fight again, right? That, in my opinion, is true strength and not weakness at all, in fact. Alright, so now the Wano Country saga, the Wano Country arc in her little history tab. When Big Mom tried to infiltrate the Wano Country, Flampe accompanied her mother and crew as they attempted to cross the waterfall into the country. However, just before they reached the top of the waterfall, King attacked the ship, causing it to fall off the waterfall and Big Mom to fall into the sea. Although Big Mom had gone missing, the ship luckily did not capsize, and so Flampe reflected on their situation with the rest of her family, asking if they had no choice but to wait, which they did. They waited, and then they tried to go up again, and then they got kicked again. This time not by King, but by Marco, who's one of my favorite characters in the entire anime. The crew later, anyways, back to her history, the crew later heard about Big Mom's newly formed alliance with Kaido. On the day of the Fire Festival, the Big Mom pirates discussed how taking Luffy's head was their top priority, but Flampe, having no interest in the goal, simply stated that she wanted to be Kaido's new favorite. As the crew attempted to climb the waterfall again, Marco appeared, much to their shock, and knocked the ship down again, which was actually pretty funny. Alright, so we're gonna wrap this video up by talking about her trivia, which is it's pretty good. It's pretty good trivia. Now, starting with the first little bit of trivia, her name is based on flambe, which is a cooking technique in which food is covered in liquor and set alight very briefly. This follows the food-themed names of the Charlotte family and the Big Mom Pirates. Now, secondly, in the initial printing of her debut chapter, Flampe was introduced as the 33rd daughter of the Charlotte family, making her older than Charlotte Pudding at 15 years old. This was corrected on the day of the chapter's release by Oda's staff on Twitter, on a later chapter, and on the volume release. However, this mistake was made again in her debut episode, despite the volume being released 6 months before the start of the episode, so big oofs there. Next bit of trivia. She is the youngest officer of the Big Mom Pirates, implying that she, while not having a strong will, as we learned today, is quite strong in some way, either tactically, sadistically, or actually very strong in a fight. And I do believe that she is decently strong in a fight. She is a captain of a special attack, the special attack unit, and an officer of the Big Mom Pirates, which is not easy to do, seeing as how there are a lot of them, and a lot of them are very, very strong. So it's either in part due to her strength and her sadism, or her tactical ability and her sadism, her willingness to farm, kill, maim, laugh, humiliate, embarrass, you name it, of any opponent, and apparently family. She was also ranked by her older siblings as their favorite younger sister in the entire family, which is kind of funny, right? Because I never would have guessed that she'd be everybody's favorite at all. But yeah, thank you guys so much. That's going to wrap it up for the video today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me all the way until the end. It means the world to me every single time you guys do. If you guys could like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, it would mean the world to me. If you guys could check out my other platforms, it would also mean the world to me. You guys, I do this for you guys. I do it because I love making content, and I love making content for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys know I love you. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.